Y'all are probably looking at this picture and saying to yourself, Taurean, who is this guy? Honestly, I was asking the same question before I was made aware of this story. But this guy's name is Maurice Symonette, or at least that's the name that he goes by. And I'll explain why I said that a little bit later on in the video. But this guy was a staunch, and probably most likely still is, staunch Trump supporter. If you remember, he was a guy that was at a lot of Trump rallies back a few years ago, and he was always holding up the sign "Blacks for Trump." When someone had made me aware of this story, I'm like, you got to be more specific, because I saw a few black people holding those signs up. But I guess this guy in particular was one of the main ones. But anyway, the reason why he's in the news is because he had a party at his home down in the Miami-Dade area. And apparently this guy has a bit amount of money. He's no slouch based on the living conditions I heard that he has. But he basically has these parties which seem to be on a weekly basis. But this one party in particular that he hosted, somebody ended up being killed at one of his parties. So now that's how he ends up back in the news. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article that was posted on News 1. It says, remember Maurice Symonette? No. The black guy who used to stand behind Trump at all his rallies holding the sign "Blacks for Trump" while donning a t-shirt imprinted with the words "Trump and Republicans are not racist." Some folks said he was in a cult. Yeah, that guy. Well, he's back in the news for, you guessed it, all the wrong reasons. On Sunday, April 17th, a 22-year-old man was killed while attending an Easter party at the Florida home of Maurice Symonette. I would ask who has parties on Easter, but then again, in this age, people have parties for any damn thing nowadays. According to Newsweek, one man was shot dead and 3 others were wounded after a confrontation over a cell phone. One of the wounded was a 14-year-old girl who was hit by shrapnel. About 50 to 60 people attended the event. Why? I'm trying to figure out why was a 14-year-old there. Because even though it said Easter event, I highly doubt Easter egg hunting was one of the activities that was done at this event, unless there was, I don't know, alcohol in them little eggs and they treated them as shots. Symonette claims that although the jet ski party was at his house, it wasn't his event, and if it was, he would have had better security. If I was throwing a party, I would have security first of all. We wasn't throwing anything. People just came to the house. It was Easter, says Symonette in an interview with Local 10. So people just happen to just show up to your home just because? That already right there just screams to me lies. Cap. Symonette uses his Miami-Dade home, which is known as the Boss Mansion, to regularly host parties that he says are to promote racial harmony. That's his alibi. That's his cover. Promote racial harmony? Negro, just say you having wild parties. No one's going to believe you celebrate or trying to have racial harmony. No one's believing that. This is not a hoochie mama party, he said. Now, we know who he was talking about when he said hoochie mama. We usually have it once a week or once a month. And it's funny he said hoochie mama party, but at least the hoochie mama party, for at least to my knowledge, hasn't had someone end up dead at it and shots firing all over the place. So it sounds to me like he had a Project X type of party. For those of you who've seen the movie Project X, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to stop the race war by bringing people together. This guy is consistently trying to pull the wool over our eyes and say that the reason he's having these parties is to end the race war or bring racial harmony, bring in racial harmony and bring people together. Fool, you ain't fooling nobody. You are having these parties because you want to have these parties, not because of whatever reasoning that you're giving. Who even has that as a theme of a party? Now, if he would have said cookout or something like that, that probably would have been a little bit more believable. But no, they say this guy has multiple parties every week. So you mean to tell me you're trying to break the divide and bring racial harmony every week at your home? Come on now. But his neighbors who have regularly complained of loud music and trash say otherwise. It would be different if my neighbor across the street or next door had an occasional party, park on my grass. I don't care. But if you do it every weekend, no, my grass can't take that, one neighbor told CBS 4. According to the Miami Herald, neighbors have complained for years about crowds of people and noise at the house. The lavish 5-bedroom home sits on an 1.5 acre property with a pool and a tennis court. Symonette says he lives in the home on and off with 3 other people. The former member of Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult was arrested on suspicion of 4 felonies in 2011, but never convicted. There have been no reports of any arrests made in connection with the shooting, but Symonette says he will fully cooperate with the police during their investigation. Now, I want y'all to look at this flyer right here. This is the flyer that was for the party of Maurice Symonette, the party that he had at his mansion. Now, we're going to read this flyer. The winning Dream Team MG / The Blaze FM Boss Radio presents Easter Sunday 2022. Starts at 2 p.m. April 17, 2022. Bring your skis early to perform. Call 561-932-3853. After party at Locust 918 Ocean Drive, Miami Beach. Pool party, brunch and lunch, 3-on-3 basketball, spades and dominoes tournament, jet ski World Cup at the mansion, 15020 South River Drive, Miami, Florida, 33167. Now pay attention to what's not on this flyer. The whole promoting of racial harmony. Now, if that was the theme of the party, that would be on the flyer. That's nowhere present on the flyer. And this is the flyer, the official flyer for his party. The one that he says, we're promoting racial harmony. We're bringing groups together. This is the flyer. That's why what he said was a bunch of BS. Dude, just say you having a party because you want to have a party. And like I said, it sounds to me like he doesn't come, like he has money. Clearly he has money because he has his mansion he calls the Boss Mansion. I've actually seen someone had posted like a map, like a satellite map of his home. So he definitely has money. He's not broke by any means. He's pretty well to do. Now, some other things that I found out about this guy is that back in the 90s, going back to that cult he was a part of, he went by other aliases. Like, dude, are you trying to be Moon Knight? Do you look every time you look in the mirror, another personality jumps out? But yeah, this guy is so fake and phony. Talking about, oh, the party is for this and it's for that. No, you're having a party for the sake of having a party. And according to his neighbors, he's having it every single week. Not once or twice a month, but every week. They said they always are complaining about the noise that comes from that house. And now somebody ended up dead on his property. Now something should and has to be done. But honestly, that should have been acted upon long before this occurred. Now, this guy, looking at his picture, I'm going to say that he's probably in his 40s. I'm going to say he's probably in his 40s, somewhere like that. He definitely in his 30s. I will say if he's in his 30s, I would be pleasantly surprised. But the fact of the matter is, this guy, has a lot going on. He has a lot happening in his life. But it seems like stability is not one of them. And I think that's a bigger issue above everything that I read in that article. Besides, of course, the fact that somebody ended up dead on his property. Because I believe, he tried to sit there and say that, I think he tried to say that when people just showed up, or no, people didn't just show up. They know you for you hosting these parties. And this is the flyer. This is what everyone who was going to the party saw. And that's what they came for. Not no racial harmony, no bridging the gap, none of what you claimed. This is what they came for. And this is what they got, plus a little shootout here and there that unfortunately claimed the life of one person. And I'm still questioning why the hell a 14-year-old was there. But yeah, I need to know from my people down in Miami, my Florida followers. Did y'all hear about this? Did you even know who this guy was? And this is a question for all my subscribers. Did any of you know who this guy was before today? Because like I said, I didn't know who he was. I've seen people, like I said, hold up signs that say blacks for Trump. But that could have been just about anybody. But to specifically have it just be this guy, I didn't know who he was until today. And I can pretty much proudly say this guy is a lame and a loser.